Well, a judge has ruled that Gavin Newsom has violated the state's constitution by unilaterally ordering that all registered voters be sent mail-in ballots. Now, this could play a role in the election in other states. If this continues, the Constitution is extraordinarily clear. The legislature oversees the election, and only the legislature can change the laws. This is something that the Trump administration was fighting fast and furious, if you will, all throughout the end of summer and in fall. And in some cases, they won that case. I don't know why they didn't win in every case, but now in California. However, the court also ruled that there was good cause for permanent injunction restraining Gavin Newsom from issuing any further unconstitutional orders that make new statutory law or legislative policy. Wow. So what that means is Gavin Newsom, all of the things that he has done now, issuing 58 executive orders, changing over 400 laws unilaterally, keeping people locked in place at home, has now been ruled unconstitutional. This is fantastic news. The judge rejected Newsom's argument that Section 8627 of the Emergency Services Act gives him autocratic powers. At least 24 of his executive orders rely on that section. The most damaging order, of course, was the lockdown. The Pacific Legal Foundation's new lawsuit uses the same separation of powers argument over victory established as a successful legal theory. This color-coded blueprint is complex in its mechanics and sweeping in its implications for businesses throughout the state. Business owners are left without a representative voice as the governor decides fundamental public policy for the state. This continuing exercise of one-man rule violates separation of powers because only the legislature is allowed to make these kinds of fundamental policy determinations under the California Constitution. This is a California judge. This is crazy. I mean, crazy good. Now, lawmakers up in Michigan are doing the same thing with Whitmer. State Representative Matt Maddock, several of the Republican colleagues announced that they are seeking to hold impeachment hearings for Governor Whitmer in the State House of Representatives. They posted this on Facebook over the weekend. They listed several reasons why they say Whitmer should be impeached and removed from office, including ignoring court orders, ignored during the process and the legislature. They charge that she is using our kids as political pawns and denied special needs students who depend on the services that occur during in-person classes. The Michigan Constitution empowers the State House of Representatives to impeach any civil officer for corrupt conduct in office or for crimes or misdemeanors. In a statement responding to the lawmakers, Whitmer's office, listen to this, she said, "The governor doesn't have time for partisan politics or for people who don't wear masks." Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You don't have time for partisan politics. Really? Oh, my gosh. So that is happening in Michigan, and we are going to need every citizen on high alert because as many people found out, do we have the Justin Trudeau audio from yesterday? As many people found out for the first time over the weekend, the Great Reset is coming. This is something that was trending, thank God. The Great Reset was trending on Sunday, and it is the same Great Reset that we've been talking about for several months, and the press has been ignoring. Here's what the Prime Minister of Canada said over the weekend.
Building back better means getting support to the most vulnerable while maintaining our momentum on reaching the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the SDGs. Canada is here to listen and to help. This pandemic has provided an opportunity for a reset. This is our chance to accelerate our pre-pandemic efforts to reimagine economic systems that actually address global challenges like extreme poverty, inequality, and climate change.
There's a couple of things that he said there. First of all, he started with building back better. Have you noticed that building back better is behind the heads of prime ministers all over the world now?
It's really weird.
It's really weird.
Terrible slogan.
No. It's as
Build
good and as
back.
catchy as me read good.
Right.
I mean, it's a ridiculous statement. It is a global statement now. Build back better. I've never heard anything so bad. And that's why it sticks out. But it's part now of the Great Reset. And when they talk about reimagining economic systems, they're talking about shareholder capitalism, which is the closest thing I could describe to shareholder capitalism is the system they have in communist China, no hyperbole, or the system that Germany went to in the 1930s, no hyperbole. The elites at the World Economic Forum in June, the United Nations, the International Monetary Fund, and dozens of other nonprofits and corporations met to discuss how they plan to use the coronavirus pandemic to push the reset button on the global economy. Many of the details are not hammered out yet until the World Economic Forum meets again early next year. But they did lay out their broad outline, and it is terrifying. They want to impose a mountain of massive new government programs, including the Green New Deal, a jobs guaranteed, and government-controlled health care. But that is just the start. They also want to completely change the way businesses operate so that every corporation is coerced in becoming champions for left-wing social justice causes. You want to know why Nike and everybody else is already on the bandwagon? Because they know what's coming. They want to create a new international digital currency that also could be used to displace the dollar as the world's reserve currency. That is going to be disastrous for everyone in America that has saved money. You remember I told you almost 20 years ago, there is no way to bring the United States level of success and monetary prowess up. You can't bring the rest of the world up to our standards, which means they have to bring us down to everyone else's standards. And that is what this is all about in the name of social justice. By the way, digital currency and international digital currency, that is going to take the power, the economic power that we all have in the, with the invisible hand of the market, and it goes to a small number of bankers and international officials. They will be able to control absolutely everything. And all of the elites now are pushing for the Great Reset. And they know that this movement would ordinarily be impossible to achieve because of countries like the United States. This is why Donald Trump could not win this election. They wanted to make sure he is not in office because he's the only one that would have stood against it. And that's why the pandemic is so important to the left. It's a big reason why so many left-wing politicians are now again asking for giant shutdowns of our economies. Lori Lightfoot in Chicago issued a new stay-at-home advisory. Illinois threatening to shut down the entire state, according to the governor. Virginia, your governor, Ralph Northam, has increased restrictions on all indoor gatherings and many restaurants. The governors of California, Oregon, Washington are gearing up for the same thing. They are going to kill the small business, crush entrepreneurship, force all Americans to come crawling on their hands and knees to government for survival so they can reshape the entire world. As Prince Charles said, who's a great supporter of the Great Reset, this is a golden opportunity to seize something good. We are in the earliest stages, but much darker days lie ahead if Joe Biden becomes our next president, because we have strong evidence. Biden and his closest allies are all devoted to the Great Reset. It is important. It is vital to you and your children's freedom and economic freedom that you know about the Great Reset. Go directly to the World Economic Forum, their website. It's weforum.org. world.org/great-reset. But go to the sources. Read through the World Economic Forum's report on reforming the way all corporations are going to operate. It's called Measuring Stakeholder Capitalism. Don't listen to people who are giving you conspiracy theories, and don't spread anything from anyone else. Go to the source. It is vital we do it now.